Hello, welcome back to Chris's Beer Reviews. How are you? Of course, I hope you are doing really well, and I do mean that. I hope you are well, and life's treating you well. This is a beer and a chat video. It's been a while since I've done a beer and a chat video, but I do enjoy doing these ones where obviously I don't review a beer. I chat about some things that are on my mind. And like I say, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Could I do them regularly? Maybe, but then I think I'd just be doing it for the sake of it. I just like to do it when I feel I'm ready to do a beer and a chat video. And this one, I want to talk about, you could call it the good, the bad and the ugly of social media, which is what I want to talk about in this one is, the ugly side of social media. And what's the point of the ugly side of social media? Is there any need for it? So let's start with, the general theme that I pick up on from watching or looking at things on social media. Some people think that because you've put yourself out there on social media, that you're okay to be attacked. Because you've put yourself out there. People say, oh, you've put yourself out there. People can say what they like. You've put yourself out there on a public forum, so people can say what they like about you. And I think, is that really true? That just because people put themselves out there on social media, it means you can be attacked. It means your personality can be attacked. It means if you've got a disability, that can be attacked. Your point of view can be attacked. Now, there's nothing wrong with opinions on a point of view. Everyone's got an opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I like opinions. I think, we should always be able to voice our opinions, as long as we're not creating hatred, or we're not inciting hatred, or we're not inciting any type of violence. There's no place for that on social media. And you see a lot of people that will post on social media, oh, I had my bike stolen and the police wouldn't do anything, yet if I say something wrong on Facebook, they're all over me. That generally just isn't true. The people that put things on social media where the police will investigate it, when people are putting the things on that are racial hatred or inciting violence or inciting racial hatred, then yes, the police might step in and have a little look at that. And probably rightly so, because we shouldn't be inciting racial hatred. You can have your views by all means on whatever your views are, be it on things like immigration, etc. Have your views, of course, absolutely, and I'm all for that. Have an opinion, but you don't need to be racist about it. And it's not just race, it can be anything to do with being homophobic or anything else. If you're not, as long as you're not inciting hatred against those people or inciting people to, up and riot, etc., you can generally say what you like on social media. But yeah, if you incite something, if you incite violence or incite racial hatred, then of course the police are going to have a look at that. That goes without saying. But that's just one side of social media. There's lots of other examples that I can talk about, and I'll probably talk about a few. So I don't know what's brought me to this, but I've just seen a lot on the social media of a late, well, not of a late, just in general over the years that we've been on social media. And you think about social media, how long we've been on it, it's absolutely years. Now I can remember going back to when internet was on dial-up. Remember those days on dial-up, where you couldn't use the landline phone if someone was using the internet. That's how far back we're kind of going, and look how quick things have evolved in terms of social media since those days. But even back in those days on dial-up, there were group chats. I can't remember some of the names of some of the kind of groups where you could go in and chat with other people, and that was a long time ago. But going back then, when you could do that and you could go into forums, most of them were forums, and join a chat on a forum. So you could join a forum about anything you liked back then, and there'd always be a chat group that you could go on, and a lot of times that chat group was live. I don't ever remember much hatred or much nastiness or horrible, really disgusting comments towards other people on there. It was generally, people of a like-minded were in that chat because they wanted to learn something, they wanted some information from it. There was no type of really nasty hatred. So how has it come on to the point where there is so much nastiness and hatred? How are people going on to certain social media things that they've got no interest in and would be vile about it. Why are they on there? Why are they going on there? What's the point? You know, do people just enjoy being trolls, as they're known as now? Do people just get a rise out of going on some type of forum or group or chat that they've got no interest in other than just to be vile? What's the point of that? Because a lot of those things that I see where people are being vile, they've got no knowledge of what the actual original chat is all about. So why are they looking for that? Why are they going into those things and just being outright vile, making the most vile, disgusting comments? What's the point? Do people seriously get a kick out of being vile? I mean, how sad are their lives that that's their enjoyment, is making people feel bad about themselves because of the comment that someone's left? I just find that really, really strange. I don't get it. I don't get why you would do that. So, you know, just take Chris's beer reviews as an example. On the whole, I generally get decent comments, and I engage with, most of the people that comment on my channel. I try and reply to every comment, but YouTube's changed at the moment and I don't always see every single comment, but they're generally decent comments, and people would disagree with me, and that's cool. I've got no issues if someone disagrees with me on my point of view on a beer. And they were saying, no, I don't agree with that, Chris. I think X, Y, and Z. That is absolutely fine. I've got no issues with that, because at the end of the day, beer reviewing is my taste, the same with every other beer reviewer. We all taste things differently. So, and people watch our beer reviews because they may have had a beer, or they're looking to have a beer and think, oh, I'll see what that one's all about. I'll watch some beer reviews on it as to whether I want to buy it or not. And then some people will buy something and they'll say, yeah, I agree with you, Chris. Or some people will say, yeah, I bought that beer, you slated it, I thought it was really good. Fantastic. There is nothing wrong with, because that's opinion, it's genuine, and that's all cool, because we all taste things differently. But it's when people are vile, make nasty comments. So if someone's got an interest in beer and they watch one of my beer reviews and they leave a really nasty comment that's almost, that practically is personal, what's the point of that? That I don't get. And in all fairness, on my channel, I've had very few of those type of comments. I have had a few trolly type comments, and I just ignore them. I won't even reply, because I think that's what they want. They want you to reply. They want you to interact. Sometimes I'll see if I can turn them around, and I'll be super polite. I'll kill them with kindness. And they do reply back with, yeah, sorry about that, I was having a bad day. That kind of amuses me, but a lot of the time I would just ignore it. When I say a lot of the time, it's just not very often that it happens. So what's the point? If you don't like something, you don't like a particular subject, why are they going and watching it? Why are they doing that? And then being vile and being really nasty to someone that, could be going through something quite traumatic, and they want to share it with people. They want to share that journey because it's helping them. By putting something out on social media, it's helping them to talk about it, to talk about their experience of whatever it is, whether it be a disease, etc. So they go like, right, that's going to come into conversation in a minute as well, is my stoma that likes to fart at inappropriate times. People, and I've done it, so fuck it, let's just go there now, because my stoma's just farted, as you've probably heard. So I've got a stoma, so I've got a colostomy. It's called a colostomy, which, if you know my channel, you know I've got it. But if you're new to the channel, or maybe you don't know, I do have a colostomy, which is as a result of bowel disease, being Crohn's disease. And quite a few years back, I set up a channel aimed at helping people with life with a colostomy, Crohn's disease, fibromyalgia. And that channel does really well in terms of views, in terms of the comments. And that's my point. What I wanted to do with that channel was help people. I wanted to help people that have got a stoma, or they're about to go into have stoma surgery. They think their life's over. They think that this is the worst thing in the world. My channel tells you how good life can be, and I share all my experiences of life with a colostomy. And on the whole, that channel gets amazing comments, absolutely heartwarming comments that almost bring a tear to your eye. There's people that wanted to commit suicide that watch that channel and then say, because of your channel, I've improved with my mental health. I don't want to die. It's not the end of the world. I can achieve. And that's why I set that channel up, was to help people. But on that channel, I do get the odd, very, very negative, nasty comment of, I'd rather die than have a colostomy. I'd rather be dead. And there are people that generally do want to end their life because they think it is the end of the world. And then they watch my channel and they watch some of my videos and they go, actually, Chris, do you know what? Yeah, happy days. You've made me realise there is more to life. With having a colostomy, I can continue having a great quality of life. But there's others that would go on there that have got no interest. They haven't got a stoma. They just go on there to troll. And they will leave horrendous comments like, yeah, I'd rather be dead if I was you. Well, I wonder if they'd think the same if their child had horrific bowel disease and had to have a colostomy. Would they want their child to die? And when push comes to shove, if they end up with bowel disease or bowel cancer and have to have a colostomy or an ileostomy, would they really want to die? I don't think so. So what's the point? Why do people do it? Why do people go on social media just to be really, really nasty? I don't get it. I don't see the point in that. Why do that? What's it all about? I've just seen it a lot recently on maybe not so much on YouTube, but I do have a little look at TikTok. I am on TikTok. I do hardly anything on TikTok, but I think TikTok is the most vile place, absolute vile. I call it toxic talk because some of the things people say on there are absolutely horrendous, and they're saying it to people with, you know, life-threatening conditions that are trying to get through it by talking about their experience and sharing it, trying to help others. And yet they can get the most horrendous, vile comments. You know, there's people on there that, you know, have not just physical health conditions, you know, things like autism, and, you know, they go on there and share their experience of being autistic, and they just, you know, do a day in the life of type TikToks, which is fantastic. You know, it raises awareness, which is fantastic. It helps people understand a bit more about something like autism. And I have picked up on that because my daughter is autistic. And yet some of the vile comments that are absolutely vile, people saying you're better off dead, go kill yourself. What on earth is that about? What on earth are those type of comments for? Because people that might be a bit sensitive, they're out there on social media because they're trying to share, they're trying to find their way, but at the same time they're trying to help others. But they might have, you know, quite low esteem, or might be suffering with mental health, might be suffering with depression, and you've got someone saying to them, yeah, go kill yourself. Seriously? Really? What on earth is that about? And I've got no doubt people have committed suicide because of social media. People have. It's documented. Let me have a slurp. Oh, it's not Kronenberg that's in that glass. It's my favourite, Vorsteiner. So yeah, why do people do that? Why does people in this human race have to be so vile? You know, it's a tough life. You know, it's tough. Life is tough. I know. I've been through horrendous health problems. I'm suffering with a few health problems at the moment. You know, life is tough. And, you know, most people will go through dark times in their life, be it through a health condition or mental health. So why do people need to be nasty about it? You know, what is that all about? And I'm not stupid. You know, I'm not green to the world. I'm 49. I've been around a while. I see a lot of things. I've been through a lot of things. But that I just struggle with. But people say, well, they put themselves out on social media, then they've got to expect it. Why? Why have they got to expect that level of abuse? Especially if they're trying to help people and help themselves at the same time. I don't think there's absolutely anything wrong with coming on a social media and saying, you know, I'm suffering with X, Y, and Z, or depression. Let me talk to you about it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. because the general point is they're releasing emotions, they're releasing feelings, they're talking to a camera, they're helping themselves, but at the same time they're probably helping others. So why should they be attacked for that? You know, people that go on social media that are disfigured and they're saying, look, yeah, I'm disfigured, but I want to lead a normal, perfect life. Yeah, they get the most vile comments. And you just think that, you know, vile comments like, I wouldn't leave the house if I looked like you, or I'd much rather be dead than look like you. You know, what? Why? Why does someone feel the need to say that? This person didn't ask to be disfigured. They didn't ask to be born that way, or they didn't ask to be disfigured through some type of accident or etc. But they're trying, and they're trying to do their best, and they're trying to raise awareness that, you know, they may have disfigurements, but they can function. You know, people don't generally take the pee out of the Paralympics. These people that are great athletes, but they're disabled and they're competing. But some people will still have a dig at them. You're like, why? They're achieving. They're doing something. They're probably doing something much better than you'll ever achieve in your bloody life. And maybe that's why they have a go at them. Maybe that's why. Because they know they can't achieve those types of things. Even though they're probably perfectly capable of doing so. Most people are capable of achieving something. So why go on social media and just be so horrendously vile? Does it upset me? It doesn't upset me. I find it annoying. I find it quite angering that people would do that, that people are that disgusting. You know, we live in difficult times. People are struggling financially, struggling with lots of different things. Yet these same people feel the need to go and abuse somebody on social media. Just because you're on social media, I do not believe that gives people the right to attack you. Have an opinion. Yes, have an opinion. Love opinions. I love a good debate. Love a good old chat. You know, there's certainly, I've got some really close friends that, you know, we don't agree on everything, but we might sit in here in my pub shed and we'll discuss it. Then we'll have a great time discussing it. We might have a few beers discussing it, but we don't start personally attacking each other. So again, why do people do it? Is it because they just, excuse me, just get a kick from it? And why would you get a kick from that? Why would you get a kick from telling someone to go and kill themselves? That I don't understand. I find that very, very strange. So what's that about? You know, tell me in the comments. You know, the people that generally watch my channel will probably agree with me on a whole, because they're decent people. I get some great comments from people, and there are people that, you know, disagree with my taste. That's fine. Disagree with my taste. Got no issues with that, because we all are different and all taste things differently. So yeah, I'll be interested to hear, you know, your point of view from the people that are watching this. And I don't know how I'll title this thumbnail, but it might attract people that don't watch my channel. So it'd be interesting to hear your views. If you don't watch my channel, but your thumbnail appealed to you and you clicked on it, tell me your view. I don't mind. But there is no need for the absolute vileness, wishing people dead, telling people to kill themselves, you know, the racism that goes on, the homophobic stuff that goes on, and on and on and on. There's no real need for that. We're in 2024. You know, if a man loves a man, so be it. If a woman loves a woman, so be it. What impact does it have on your life? There's none. None whatsoever on your life. Just doesn't, does it? So why do people have to be so nasty to people that are attracted to someone of the same sex? What does it matter? It makes no odds. They're happy. You're happy. What difference does it make? But why is it okay to go on social media and attack them? Why is that okay? You know, there's just no point. And, you know, we've heard all this before. You know, I'm not the first person to raise this issue. But I just find it frustrating that we're in 2024. We've learned an awful lot over the years. We've seen an awful lot over the years. And we're a much more we're supposed to be a much more accepting nation. of lots of different things. Back in the 80s, there were things like gay bashing. People would go around looking for gay people to beat up. Why? What's that about? I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 1975. What's the point? What does that achieve? I don't get it. Because anybody that is gay has no impact on these people that are going around what we used to call gay, what it was called, when we did call it, gay bashing. What impact does it have on their lives whether a man loves another man? Don't get it. But now social media is at the stage it's at. It just seems to be so much more easier to attack people. But for what reason? You're attacking people you've never met. You're attacking people that you're never ever going to meet. But they're on social media, having a good time, trying to do something for themselves. Be it whether they're on social media for the money or because they just enjoy doing it. Happy days, that's cool. Do I do social media for the money? No. Yes, my channel's monetized, but why wouldn't I monetize it? Why wouldn't I try and earn a few quid every month from doing it that might pay for a nice beer? I've got a lovely beer sitting over there, a Duvel barrel-aged, 9 months aged in bourbon barrels. That was £41. It is a 750ml bottle, but yes, that's bloody expensive for a beer, but it'd be epic. But my YouTube channel paid for that. So why wouldn't I monetize it? And then I can bring that beer to the channel and we can talk about it. So I'm not in it for the money, but it does help bring some tidy beers to the channel. Of course it does. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking to a camera. I love talking to a camera. I enjoy doing the beer reviews. It's my escapism. I've said that before. But just because I do that, does that mean that people should be able to come on here and absolutely slate me? Does it mean people have to come on here and make personal comments about my appearance? In my mind, no, it doesn't. You come on here because you're interested in beer and you want to know an opinion on a beer. Because that's all I give you is an opinion, and I will be honest about a beer, as you know. But does it give someone a right to say, well, actually, you put yourself out there so I can slag you off, I can call you a bald, this, that, and the other. You've mentioned you have a stoma, I could say I'd rather die than have one of those. Doesn't give them the right, in my opinion. And that's the issue I have with social media. Social media does a lot of good. Let's not forget that. Let's kind of end towards the good that social media does. And when you go back to lockdown, a lot of beer reviewing channels and lots of many other channels really kind of lifted because people were turning to social media as an outlet, and craft beer was coming a long way at that point. So people were looking at those beers, they were stuck indoors, so let's watch YouTube about those beers that are arriving in supermarkets. They're exciting. So they were some good times for social media. Look at social media back in lockdown. People were running quizzes online, loads of people interacting, virtual pubs are online. Real Ale Craft Beer, Simon was doing his virtual pub, the Stone Crow virtual pub. Paul from Paul's Beer Reviews was doing LOL Live, and lots of others were doing, lots of other beer reviewers were doing lives in those times, and they gave people an outlet, a bit of relief, a bit of something else, because they're stuck indoors and they're going mad, as I did. I suffered really badly with mental health because of COVID, because I was also in the super shielded category where I wasn't even allowed to leave the house when people were allowed to leave the house because of the illness I have and the medication I was on at the time. So in those times, people turned to social media and got so much benefit from it. People watching like LOL Live or the Stone Crow, we're getting relief, we're getting a sense of being part of something, and that's the good. There's people on social media that will say, watching you really helps me. That's the good. I get that on my other channel. Some of the comments I get on the other channel, like I said earlier, are just heartwarming and bring you to tears for the difference that social media has made, and that's the good thing. That's the good part of social media, and that should never change. The good on social media absolutely should stay, but people will come off because of the nasty comments, and that's really sad, because people that have got so much to offer will stop because people are being vile to them, and that there's no need. They're trying to help. They're trying to do the right thing. So yeah, there's a lot of good on social media. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's good for my mental health, sitting up here reviewing a beer where I shut myself away. I love it. Absolutely love it. As do a lot of others. But just because we're out there and we're on social media, in my opinion, that doesn't mean we should be attacked. That doesn't mean nasty personal comments should happen. That's my view. Anyway, I was going to say just a quick one, but we're 25 minutes in with me ranting on about social media. Be interested to hear your thoughts. There you go. I'm all done. Look after yourselves. See you all soon. Take care.